Hey everyone, Maxine here. So today I am going to run through the new Disney 100 CMFs from worst to best, and I guarantee you will disagree with me. To make clear, this review from worst to best for all the CMFs is purely based on the molds, the way that LEGO has reflected them accurately from each Disney film and for each character, and also the accessories that were offered with them as well. However, of course, being a big Disney fan, I will quickly do my favorite top five at the end of the video based on my own preference. So let's get started. So coming in at the very bottom at number 18 is Prince John. So this was one of the ones that everyone was going to say was going to be their favourite and the one to get because it's from a very classic film. However, based on the figure, I think this one is the worst of them all. Purely because if we look closely at the crown and compared with in the film, it should probably have some nice jewel details, a little bit of colour in there. I also feel like LEGO needs to maybe do some molds where they really capture the long robes that these figures have. Again, if you look at the picture, Prince John has a very, very long robe. It's very characteristic of the character. And I don't feel like the print is really grasping that enough. Also, for some reason, there's no tail. You always see Prince John's tail in the movie, but there's not even a tail piece added in there to show that either. And lastly, the accessories, I just think they could have maybe picked a bit better. I understand why they went for the sack and the coin, because obviously Prince John likes to get everyone's taxes and take all their money. However, I think it might have been more apt for him to be holding a jewel or maybe a mirror, because he always likes to look at himself in the mirror. However, I have to appreciate that the headpiece, which is a very unique mold, is absolutely fantastic. It looks awesome. I don't think they could have done the head any better in itself. However, yeah, it's just that crown that lets it down because it is all attached as one piece. Next at number 17, we have DrFacilier. The reason I've got him down at number 17 is basically because, if we look at the film and the character and how it is portrayed, DrFacilier has a longer staff, and I feel like there are definitely LEGO pieces out there that they could have used instead of this small brown piece for his staff. And I think it would have been a really, really cool feature if LEGO had chucked in an extra face. So Facilier, the minifigure, only has the one facial expression. As cool as it is, it's not got another face, which they could have easily done where he wears his spooky mask, in which I've put in a picture that you can see there. However, other than that, I do think the figure looks pretty good. I love the tarot card. I think that was a good accessory to throw in there, and they've even went to the detail of showing off a little bit of his belly and the necklace that he wears. So they have gone into a lot of detail with this, and his hat is just, oh, love the hat. Next at number 16, a really surprising one, but it is Mulan. So the reason Mulan is down at number 16, one of the biggest things that I noticed straight away was the headpiece. So her hair is actually made of a rubbery material. It's not our typical hard plastic that we have. And I don't know what's happened during manufacture, but it doesn't actually stay on very well. So I feel like that is a bit of a design flaw that kind of really brings down this figure for me in the ranking. Also, given that she is wearing her kind of warrior outfit that we see at the end of the film, I would have then expected the sword that she was holding to have been more characteristic of the Shang Yu's sword, so rigid and everything like that. And we know LEGO is capable of doing those kind of accessories because they did that with some of the new Lord of the Rings. So I really, really would have liked that. Also, I feel like they should have actually had, rather than trousers for Mulan, it should have been a skirt. A printed skirt, because again, if you look at the picture of her wearing this outfit in the film, it looks closer to a skirt than trousers, so that doesn't really make too much sense to me. And finally, I think the accessory wise, I don't think we needed the cricket in there. I think that would have made maybe a bit more sense if she was wearing her kind of traditional woman's robe that she wears at the beginning of the film. But because this is obviously her meant to be her warrior kind of stance, I think the sword, the Shang Yu sword, would have been enough. However, some things to definitely note that are great about the Mulan figure are her two faces. So if we'll just take this off so you can see, she has a nice smiley face, but she also has her warrior face on. So I think that is really, really good because it kind of shows her two personalities. And I just think it's a really, really nice detail to put in there that she has two faces. So at number 15, we now have Tiana. So the reason I've put Tiana down again pretty low is because it makes no sense to me really why they have decided to put her in her sort of princess dress. She wears this dress for maybe a total of 30 seconds in the movie. I feel like they've purely just done this because they're obviously trying to make a Disney princess lineup, so they all should be wearing their dresses no matter how long they wear them in the film. However, because I just love Tiana as a character, she's very strong-willed, I would have preferred to have seen her in her waitress outfit. So that's a bit of a shame, and I think that would have complemented the printed piece better, because that she kind of has that when she's a waitress to aspire to get her restaurant. And yeah, I understand why they've given us the frog accessory, but I don't really think it's needed. If anything, instead of the frog, if they had done the waitress outfit, which I would have preferred, maybe she could have been holding a frying pan or something like that, because she would have been in her waitress outfit. At number 14, we have Aurora. So Aurora, again, is in her princess outfit. So again, you could argue it might have been nice if she was in her like peasant outfit, but I understand why Lego are doing this. I really think they're trying to push the Disney princess lineup. But then for that reason, it doesn't make sense to me why we have the owl as an accessory, because she doesn't wear this dress when she is, talking away and dancing away with the owl. So in that case, they should have either done the peasant outfit with the owl, or they could have done this princess dress, but maybe thrown in the spinning wheel. That would have been a really nice accessory, and it would have made total sense to go with this minifig. Other than that, the definitely notable things to say about this fig are the two faces. So the face I've got on her right now is her sleeping face, because I thought that made sense because she's Sleeping Beauty, but she also does have an awake face as well, so that's a really nice touch there. And they have definitely got her corset detail really nice, and her hair is just fantastic. It's got some nice curls in there to show her nice wavy blonde hair. At number 13, we have Cruella. So I have to say off the bat, first, the positives about Cruella is that I love that we got a little Dalmatian accessory. I think that is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't even look kind of like a standard Lego Dalmatian. It looks like they've really tried to go for a Disney 101 Dalmatians style Dalmatian. So the effort there is definitely noted. And they've also given us a little purse for her, which is, I don't think they could have done it any better. I think that's quite nice that she's holding that. And the hairpiece and the face is just fantastic for this figure. I just think the hair is absolutely amazing, and the facial expression as well. Definitely a lot of detail and accuracy gone into this figure here. Things that I would have improved about this is, again, with these minifigures, I think Lego could work a little bit better, especially for Disney 100, at making some unique molds so that it really shows off the long coat. Similar to what I said about Prince John, that is really characteristic of his character, that there is a long tailing coat. And again, Cruella is the same. So it doesn't really show off the accuracy of her character, I feel like, with this fig. And also we've got this kind of cloth piece for her collar. I just don't think it fits very well. And I think they also could have maybe done a hard plastic fur collar or something like that, because when we think Cruella, we think fur. So I think it would have made more sense, but I think they were maybe limited because of the hairpiece, and that would have caused issues putting that on. But otherwise, another nice fig too. Next at number 12 is Pocahontas. So yes, I think this is going to be another one that's a lot of people's favourite. But again, if we're just going on what Lego have given us, I think this would rank somewhere around number 12. The reason for this is purely, to be honest, to do with the accessories. I think other than that, they've hit the nail on the head with Pocahontas. They've given us a printed arm piece with her tattoo, which is really accurate. The swishing hair, oh my goodness, I absolutely love her hair. It's fantastic. And her facial expression as well is awesome. But yeah, I think the compass is lovely, but we would have liked to have had Miko or Flit, I think, instead. So one of the animal sidekicks that she has. But again, I understand why they've added in the leaves. They're obviously wanting to show the fact that, she's frequently standing on a hilltop in the wind and the colours of the wind. And I think it's all to do with that song, why they've given us the leaves. But yeah, just personally, I love a little animal accessory. I love that more than anything. And Miko and Flit are always by her side, so I don't think it would have been out of place. Next at number 11, we have Robin Hood. So Robin is a fantastic figure, so this is why we're working our way back up now. The unique mould for his head is fantastic. The hat is a part of the head mould. We just have to add in this little red piece to show off the feather that is added. We get a nice foxy tail. We actually get two of these, so we get an extra one. So I think this is really accurate. He has got quite a standard kind of outfit, two pieces. There's nothing too flaunty or roby or anything about that. So I think it was quite an easy one for them to have got quite right and accurate with a minifig. And obviously we get his bow as well. The only reason that this one has ranked a little bit lower is that we should have got the quiver to go with the bow. Robin basically always has the quiver as long as he's got his bow, so I think that would have made sense. But again, I think I understand why they haven't, because they might have been limited because of the tail accessory being in the way. But that is why he is at number 11. The next one at number 10 I think is going to cause a lot of heat in the comments, but again, this is all to do with the accuracy of the fig. But at number 10, we have Jiminy Cricket. So I love this figure so much. I think it's awesome. I love the hat. The accessory makes sense. I don't think, other than that, they could have done this any better. They've even made an effort with his face to make it look like his kind of animated cricket face that they do in the film. The only reason I put Jiminy down to number 10 is for two reasons. The first being, again, I think we need a bit of a tail coat shown in this figure. That's something that's very characteristic to Jiminy Cricket, and if they'd maybe added an extra mould in there, something. I feel like Lego are on the cusp of doing something like this, and they need to do it because otherwise that detail is lost. It just looks like a very bland top half. And the second reason being, I don't know if Jiminy Cricket should have been a fig. I think it's really important that he's at his smaller scale, especially because we get Pinocchio in the CMF series as well. So the fact that he is the size that he is a little bit confusing. Another one that is going to cause a lot of heat now, we're getting at the very heated section now, number 9 is Stitch. So I absolutely love Stitch. I was obsessed with Lilo and Stitch growing up. I used to watch it, and I used to watch the TV series as well, which was just the best thing ever. But yeah, so Stitch is ranked at number 9. So the reason for this is they have done an amazing job with the mould. Oh my goodness, this is why he is a little bit further up. However, I am starting to nitpick now because it's getting difficult. But they have added in the moulds for the extra arms, but they haven't given us his antennae. So if you look at the picture, when he is in this form, he also has his antennae. So I don't understand why they didn't throw them in. So for accuracy to the character, they should have had those in the figure. And also, again, a little nitpick, but when he is wearing this outfit in the film and he has his 2 guns, he usually has either 4 guns or he has 3 as a minimum. So that is why this one is at number 9. And yes, I guess another thing I could say is that they could have done his back ridges as like a 3D rather than a print, but I think that would have been really difficult, so I won't score him down for that reason. Oh my goodness, another one that everyone's going to hate me for, but at number 8 we have Pinocchio. So the reason Pinocchio is at number 8 is because the accessory. So it doesn't make any sense to me why he has Cleo. He never carries around Cleo like this in the film, so I think it would have made more sense for him to have had an apple and his book, like when his dad sends him off to school. I think those are the only accessories that would have made any sense, other than the really, really obvious one, which would have been like a small Jiminy Cricket, but they weren't obviously going to do that when they gave us a Jiminy Cricket CMF as well. So for that reason, that is where Pinocchio ranks. But other than that, he obviously ranks also kind of high because the detail that has gone into this minifig cannot be dismissed. We have a very unique moulded face that we've never had before with the nose. The hat piece is just gorgeous. The colours that have gone into this fig are just amazing. They've even done print down the leg as well, which is really accurate to the character. And yeah, if you even look at the film, all of the kind of where they've put the character on his torso is very, very accurate as well. Okay, so at now number 7 we have Baymax. So I think Baymax is an awesome, awesome fig. They've really went all out with the arm molds here. They've added different molds in to really show off his kind of buff arms. So the only reason that this is ranking slightly lower than the top is because it would have been good if they also tried to put that extra mold effort into his tummy. So he is a big, big guy. And I don't really think it's shown off as much as it could be with this figure. The arms really compensate for that, but a big belly for Baymax would have been ace. Okay, so at number 6 we have the Queen of Hearts. So I'm not even a big, massive Alice in Wonderland fan, but I could not rank this one high because it deserves it. The detail that's gone into the Queen of Hearts is really, really something to be admired. The detail that they've gone into with this larger piece, they had to give her this large dress piece. There was no other way they could have done it, and it's a really good shout. They've also done the detail with the colouring and the contrast bang on to what is shown in the picture from the film. And the facial expressions on Queen of Hearts are just hilarious. So we have more than one. So we have this kind of smirky smile that she does, but we also have a screaming face off with her head. So that is absolutely fantastic. It's hilarious that they've given us those options because, again, that is very accurate to the character. And yeah, the accessory, again, I think makes sense because she usually holds her little staff with the heart at the end. I did think for a moment maybe they could have given us a flamingo, like when she plays flamingo croquet, but I think that would have been a bit too much. And I understand why they've given us what they have, and I think that is really, really sweet as it is. And they've also given us the white collar, which is accurate as well. The only criticism I have is that we obviously now know that they are capable of doing the big chunky arm molds like they did with Baymax. And if you look at the Queen of Hearts as a character, she actually does have quite chunky arms. So if they'd maybe also given us the chunky arm molds for the Queen of Hearts, I think this would have been very, very close to the very top of my ranking. Okay, so we're now in the top 5. So at number 5, we have Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So again, I think this is another character definitely to be admired, how it's been portrayed as a CMF. The molds for the ears are just absolutely fantastic, and I love the little accessory that we've got. I feel like that is such a nice keepsake and really will rank up the value of this fig long term. The reason that Oswald is down at number 5 otherwise is that one of his other characteristics is his massive, massive feet, because he is a rabbit. So the fact that they are able to do the mold for the ears, I would have loved them to do something with the feet to make them bigger. So that would have been really, really nice to have gotten. And also they maybe actually could have given us a little tail accessory piece there as well, rather than just printing the tail. At number 4, we have Sorcerer Mickey, another one that's going to cause a lot of debate. So first and foremost, the accessories for this minifigure are spot on. I don't think they could have picked any better. The head mold for Mickey is fantastic. It's all one piece with the hat and the head. I think we already knew in our heads what this was maybe going to look like because we've had previous Mickey minifigs before. My only criticism for Mickey is purely, again, I've said this a couple times now, a nice robe piece, because again, it's very, very characteristic of Sorcerer Mickey, and it's Disney 100 this year, Lego. Come on, I think this would have been beautiful if you could have personified the robe for the Sorcerer Mickey. But otherwise, Mickey is ranking at number 4. Okay, so we are now at our top 3, and the top 3, I have to say, I've got my notes in front of me, and these are the ones that I could not find any fault with whatsoever. I don't think Lego could have done these CMFs any better. So at number 3, I have the Evil Queen. I'm not a massive Snow White fan. I didn't think I would be ranking a villain CMF so high up as well. I'm really, really not too bothered about this minifig, but in terms of accuracy, I think this has to be acknowledged that they've got this spot on. So first and foremost, the accessory being the magic mirror, and the fact that they've also made it a Lego featured magic mirror is just hilarious. The colours with the green to the purple, again, is very accurate to the film and what the magic mirror looks like in Snow White. The way that they've done the colours of the robe being red on the inside, black on the outside, and then the white collar is very, very accurate again. And the print for her full torso and the skirt piece, again, is just exactly how they should have done it. And her face piece as well, her facial expression, if you look very closely at the minifig and then you look at a picture of the animated Evil Queen, it is so accurate. They couldn't have done it any better. So I actually do think this has to be ranked up in the top 3 for that reason. And I'm very, very surprised by this one. So yeah, well done, Lego. So now at number 2, which one is it going to be? We have Ernesto De La Cruz. So Ernesto De La Cruz, oh my goodness, the detail into this minifig is impeccable. We've got printed arm piece, we've got printed leg piece, we've got on the back, on the front, we've got 2 faces. We have an amazing sombrero themed hat, just like in the movie, with the mold on the inside as well, detail around the rim. And obviously the guitar as well, which just looks so accurate to the film. There's no fault with this minifig, cannot fault it at all. The reason it's come second will be divulged when I reveal obviously why I've picked for the first prize winner. But yes, this, it's just fantastic. I cannot believe second place for me is a villain as well. I love my heroes and all this kind of thing, but Ernesto De La Cruz is just a fantastic figure. I really don't think they could have done this any better. And it's also just such a cool minifigure because also they've had to obviously personify the fact that Ernesto De La Cruz is dead. So he is actually a skeleton, and they've done the detail there with the black on the inside and on the outside to show his spine showing through as well. So the detail on this one is fantastic, and I just think it is just awesome. So yeah, if you've worked it out, that leaves first place going to Miguel. So the top two ended up being both characters from Coco. So again, I was really intrigued by this. I love that film. It's nothing to do with the fact that I don't think it's a popular movie for anyone, but in terms of accuracy to the movie and what we were offered with the CMF, I think this had to take the top spot. We have two accessories. That was the difference between first and second place for me. The fact that Ernesto De La Cruz only came with the one accessory and Miguel came with the two. And saying that was probably an unfair battle between the two because what else would De La Cruz come with? But the fact that they've treated us to the guitar for Miguel and also to Dante is just fantastic. And Dante in himself is just hilarious. Oh my goodness. The fact that they've went into the detail for an accessory like this is fantastic as well. They've been really, really accurate with Miguel. They've really, really captured the character and how he is portrayed in the movie. The fact as well that we are also given the option of having him with his hood and the dead face when he obviously visits the land of the dead. But he's also got his living face and hair piece as well, so you can decide which one you want to place on him. Yeah, so Miguel has taken the top spot in terms of accuracy and for what LEGO has offered us in terms of accessories, and I absolutely love it. I just think it's absolutely awesome. And yeah, so that is my ranking from worst to best of the new Disney 100 CMF series. Now, I'm going to tell you my favourite top 5, just based on my own preference. Okay, so just to say there as well, that picking my top 5 has not been easy. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm like making a life or death decision here. It's been so difficult. But just a quick run through of my personal top 5. So at number 5 for me is Stitch. As I said before, I absolutely love Lilo and Stitch. I love the movies. I've watched every single one, even into being an adult. And as I said, I love the TV series as well. So I think Stitch is awesome. I think I would have liked it if they did a little different facial expression for him though, rather than like it's kind of not too different to this one. He looks a bit more angry in the new one than this one. He looks quite happy. But considering this is when he's like almost like rabid, I would have liked to have been like given a big kind of like face for Stitch for that one. But other than that, I think he is amazing and so sweet. At number 4 for me had to be Miguel. Oh, I love Coco the movie, and I just love this set of minifigs. And the only reason I think I've ranked this one in my top 5 is because I just love Dante. I think he's just so funny. So I absolutely love the Miguel CMF. So he's my number 4. And then at number 3, I had to put Pocahontas in there. I think she's gorgeous. And again, I think the reason that I've ranked this one a bit high for myself is because the swishing hair, I think it's just fantastic. And we were treated to a nice printed arm, and the face and everything is very accurate. So I love this one at my number 3. At number 2, I had to put Ernesto De La Cruz because I honestly just think he's awesome. I just think they've really captured this character so well with this minifig. He's just friggin' awesome. Like, I think everyone should be trying to grab a hold of this one just because you can even display this if you have like a haunted house set, like what I've got, or like a Halloween. I think you could definitely use Miguel and Ernesto De La Cruz for your display. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing. And at my number 1, I had to put Pinocchio. I think Pinocchio is so sweet and cute. He's just, I think it's also partly because he's a classic character as well, rather than from one of the new movies. So yeah, I am just a little bit let down about the accessory, but it's totally fine. Like, an accessory is just an accessory, but the minifigure itself is just super cute. With his little nose as well. If it hadn't been for that nose mold in there on his head, I don't think I would have ranked him as high. They had to do that if they were going to do Pinocchio. But yeah, I absolutely love Pinocchio, but I am just as surprised as maybe some other people that this is my favourite one. I really thought it was going to be maybe Stitch or Jiminy Cricket. Those were the two that I thought I would end up thinking were my favourite, but once I've built them in my hands, you get a much better idea. So yes, thank you for watching, everyone. Please let me know in the comments how annoyed you are at me, how much you disagree with me. I think it's such a fun discussion to have, and I'd also love to know what everyone else's favourites are. But yes, I will say to you though, wait until you actually build them, because I thought I knew what my favourites would be, but until I built them, I totally changed my mind. So yeah, please like this video if you enjoyed it, and please hit the subscribe button as well. It really helps me out. And yes, please stay tuned for future absolutely awesome LEGO fun content. Until next time, bye!